Welcome to Blaes and Gottsch. I'm Teresa Blaes, and today I've got my sidekick, my co-host, my all-around good friend, and troublemaker for the kingdom, Mischelle Saunders Gottsch. Mischelle, what kind of trouble are you stirring up lately?
Hey, I've been stirring up trouble in Wolf Point, Montana.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's a northeastern part of Montana. What can I say?
Well,
they need a little bit of that.
Yeah, how far is that from Red Lodge, Montana? Because that's where I used to live.
Hey, Red Lodge, Montana. I remember Red Lodge, Montana. Teresa, I don't know how far it is. I do know it's not that far from Regina, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not very far from like Williston, North Dakota.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's not far from Glasgow Air Force Base, which is the Air Force Base I lived on when I was living there in Montana as a little one. But Red Lodge, I mean, I heard a lot about Red Lodge. I just don't remember exactly where it is in proximity to Wolf Point.
Yeah, I used to live in Red Lodge. In fact, that's where we figured out that I couldn't live up in higher elevations as a kid because I had issues with hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, so we learned that I had to move to lower elevations when I lived there. So, you
had to go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was fun.
I bet how old were you?
God, I think I was about 10, 12, maybe.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe younger because I just know I had a lot of headaches.
That'd be awful. I'm so sorry.
So, it is what it is. But yeah, I used to live there. Beautiful up there.
Yeah, it is beautiful. I mean, northeastern Montana, it's not like Whitefish or Glacier.
Mm-hmm.
That's some of the more beautiful parts of Montana, but Montana has its
beauty.
sky.
Yeah.
It does. It has its unique beauty there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
West,
West, it does. And it doesn't have all the trees that we have out in Missouri and, some of the South.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's definitely, oh my gosh, the sky is massive, expansive, lots of open space.
Well, speaking of open space, we had a couple of teams that competed in some open spaces.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah. Well, and I left a few open spaces. I unfortunately cannot say. Okay, we'll start with the winning team. Oh, that's right. We don't have one. We have the Chiefs. We have the Chiefs who were on a bye, and they did get a win. They got a win, which we already talked about. So they're still sitting pretty good.
They are.
I'm hoping that they can actually rest up some of their players because I know they have gotten dinged with injuries pretty heavy. So I'm hoping that this bye will allow them to rest up those players and get them back because they could sure use them.
Well, they could. Hollywood Brown and Pacheco. And I mean, it's just, they're going to use their whole team. They're going to do what they have to do. And that's what they did with the Saints. But yeah, we all hope for the best, right? For the best players. And see, the thing is,
you can't keep winning on a shoestring player base. You really can't.
Well, it'll wear Patrick down. I mean, you can't, those high performing players that have to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep, they need a break just like everyone else, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really hoping that this bye will allow them to get reset, refocused, and do what they do best. So
I will hope so. Pray so.
We'll go with the team who lost, but at least showed some signs of life in the fourth quarter.
You watched that game.
Yes, I did. 23-16, Broncos lost.
Why? Why did they lose?
One, they did not protect. They didn't protect and give Bo Nix enough time. And number two, he wasn't connecting with his receivers very well at all.
Rookie.
Yeah.
Still rookie.
Oh, very much so. Very much. He showed some rookie tendencies and he showed some screw up moments, and you just kind of go, oh, okay. And they just kept getting 3 and outs while the other team, who was it? Chargers. Yeah. They were going down and getting touchdowns, and the Broncos were getting 3 and outs up until the fourth quarter. And I'm going, that's not going to win you games.
Did they play in Denver?
Yes.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I will say this: the fourth quarter, they really seemed to come alive. They actually kind of made it a game. They got 16 unanswered points,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, well, you know, and
Well, I don't hear you complaining like too bad.
no, I would just say I would say, this wasn't one of those losses where you go, what the heck was going on here? No,
Yeah.
this is just okay. They finally woke up. They started doing things right, but it wasn't enough. They didn't have enough time in the fourth to really make up for 3 quarters of bad football.
Did the quarterback backup play at all?
No,
No, it's all Knicks.
yeah, it was all Knicks.
Okay.
I think the Denver coach is not going to let this settle. I think,
Hayton?
yeah, Sean Payton. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to let that settle. He doesn't strike me as the kind of coach that will settle for that.
Yeah.
And so we'll just see if they can turn that back around. I mean, their defense was still kind of on point, but they were also getting beat at the point of attack. And so, you
Mm,
kind of have to really sit back and go, what's going on here?
yeah. I usually try to watch the feedback from my diehard Bronco fans
Mm-hmm.
and friends. Um, but I, didn't get a chance because we were traveling and all, I didn't get
Right.
a focus on it this
Right.
time. But
Yep. Mm-hmm.
usually you'll hear a lot of complaining, if there's an expectation or I think there's hope. There was hope that they could maybe keep
Pull
the
up.
season wins going, right?
Right. Well, and the thing is, they're going to be playing tomorrow night um, against the Saints. And the Saints have kind of been on a downward trend lately.
Right.
So I'm hoping they can kind of continue that downward trend for the Saints and get a victory.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Are they playing the Saints in New Orleans?
That I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Well, it's going to be Thursday night game, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That means I'll be busy.
Yeah, tomorrow night. Right, Saturday.
Yeah, between the football game and the Suns basketball game, I'll be busy.
Yeah, you're still keeping up with the Suns basketball game.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, they're lucky to have you.
Man, I've been a diehard fan since I was a kid. So
I know. I'm
yeah.
saying they're lucky to have you because basketball is one of those,
You either get it or you don't. And
Exactly. Yeah. So I
yeah.
haven't
So
really found a basketball team, but I mean, I used to watch the Nuggets a lot and I went to a lot of their games.
right. Yeah, no. Nuggets, I will say this and then we'll get back to football. Nuggets are actually a good team.
Uh-huh.
They've got a couple players that I'm always nervous to play because they're probably gonna go off.
Uh-huh.
Uh and when the Suns played them in preseason and they kept them contained. So I was very happy.
Ah, well, good. That offsets you not being so happy if the Cardinals lost. Which I hate to go there, but yeah. Yeah, so tell us, Treese.
Let me just ask this one question. Do you honestly not understand the concept of enforce your will on the daggum line of scrimmage? They just were getting beat. And 13 penalties?
That's insane.
13 penalties.
What happened?
They just beat themselves. Multiple penalties. Oh, I would say a few of them were kind of the zebras, and you're kind of going, hey, zebras, go back to your herd and rethink that one.
Kyler?
And Kyler,
Uh-oh.
Kyler was him and Marvin Harrison Jr. couldn't seem to get on the same page. In the first half, they played horrible, and I was hoping this would be another tale of two halves.
Oh, my head hurts.
Yeah, trust me. I finally, it was like 2 minutes to go, and I knew the Broncos were starting to play, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm just done. So I switched over because I just couldn't handle it. I mean, they just got beat. 32 or something like that to 13.
Who do they play next?
The Chargers, who just
Ooh.
got finished whooping up on the Broncos.
Yeah, they're
And they are one of the
high.
tougher defensive teams out there. Yeah, I'm not looking for a win there. Especially if the Cardinals keep playing like that and beating themselves. They were one of the least penalized teams going into the Green Bay Packers game, and then they got 13 penalties. That's not just a mistake. That's just you being stupid and making mental errors. You know the rules of the game. How long have some of them been playing? For years. They know the rules of the game. You can't make mistakes like that, especially. Ugh.
I really was holding out hope that they would be more like of a winning team.
Yeah, well, they're
in
2
their
and 4.
conference.
Yeah, they're 2 and 4 right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of going, ugh. They can still turn it around. I know they can, but I'm not very happy at the moment. And I know I'm not the only one who isn't happy. I would guess a lot of the Cardinals fans are going, what the?
Well, yeah. And what is your favorite broadcaster? What's he thinking?
He's been saying that basically, this was garbage on the field.
Yeah.
And he's right. He's absolutely right. And he hasn't been anti-Kyler. Okay, he's given him props when he deserved props, but he's also held him to account when he needs held to account. And so he's not exactly popular with the Cardinals organization per se, but that's why I like listening to him.
Well, he speaks truth, doesn't he?
Yeah, yep, he does. He does, and that's why I like listening to him. And he has a good knowledge of football and how the game runs and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just at a place where I'm like, man, if Kyler doesn't produce a winning season or doesn't show that he actually can do this, I think the Cardinals really do need to visit whether he should stay on.
They probably will. They will.
I know he's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the game, which was, in my opinion, a mistake. Because he hadn't proved nothing. And you give him
why did they pay him so much?
I think they were thinking if he has all the money, then he'll play up to that amount of money, and it didn't work.
Ooh, Teresa.
Yeah.
That's pretty heavy to say that. I mean, he must really. What do you think's going on?
I don't know. I really don't know, but I don't like what I'm seeing. Because at the time that they gave him that contract, he had just released his manifesto, pretty much lambasting the team.
Yep.
But he hadn't proved nothing up to that point. He had been there for multiple years. He was coming off an ACL injury coming into this year. Okay, and I don't blame him for the injury. I don't. That kind of stuff happens. But when you are able to play and you don't live up to what you were asked to do, that I have a problem with.
I think everyone does. I mean, fans, what do they charge to get into the games these days? I mean,
too much.
$250, $300. I mean, depending on
when I was looking at season, what do you call it? Like just regular seat tickets.
Yeah,
it was like $150 for a regular season.
Yeah.
Now I went during the preseason, and I am very glad we went, and it was enjoyable. But that was still kind of pricey. And and Mike and I, we budgeted, because you got to think, you don't just have the tickets themselves, you also have the concessions. And I can tell you right now,
and the gear, merch, and the merch.
Oh yeah, that was also kind of yep. Mm-hmm. Guilty. You know,
I have a lot of merch. I mean,
yeah. So
through the,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's like you know, it's and the food is higher priced. I mean, we budgeted about $100 for the food. So I mean, naturally, you would think, okay, the fans they come in, they pay all this high money to watch you play.
Yeah, the best you can play
Exactly.
to win.
And I'm sorry, but like for those fans that do that, especially the fans that pay the high dollars, like the $5,000 suites and whatever else,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
they deserve a decent product to be put out on that field.
All fans that pay deserve.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it's just, oh man.
It's
Well, what are they doing differently? Do you know?
um I've seen some flashes of their defense. Um I mean, I've seen some good flashes of their defense. My issue has not necessarily been, there are some teams that are going to get their points. That's just how they work.
Yeah.
Okay. Green Bay in itself, they prized themselves on getting takeaways, and they did. They got 2 takeaways in the second half.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
that was just, not taking care of the ball. You know that's what they do. You should have paid extra emphasis to it. And so, that happened. And so now I'm looking at them and they're going into the Chargers. The Chargers are a pretty stalwart defensive team. And considering how our offensive line has been playing, I'm
Oh,
yeah.
Teresa, I'm not going to talk to you tomorrow. If they're losing, if they're winning, I'll shoot
Well,
you
no,
a
no,
message.
no, no, no. That they play on Sunday.
Oh, sorry, Sunday. Okay.
Yeah. So Sunday is so I've got a Chiefs game
Yeah,
on Sunday.
we're playing the 49ers. And I do
Mm,
know there's some of the players that are out right now for injury, but they don't look like the real well well known. I mean, we got a
right,
knee injury, we got a tricep injury, we got an illness and a pectoral,
right,
like
right.
Dana Clyde Edwards. So it's
Uh,
not, major guys.
and there's also something else that we have to factor in and pray for, guys. During the Broncos game on Sunday, Bill Belichick, or no, I'm sorry, not Belichick. Oh, what the heck is his name? I can't remember his name. The coach of the Chargers, former college
Oh,
coach.
yes. Hobberger, or what's his name?
No, no, what the
No,
heck is?
not Jim.
I can't.
His
He's a big.
brother, was it his brother that had a
No,
problem? No,
no.
another team.
No, it was the actual coach of the Chargers. They ended up calling an ambulance for him. He had a heart problem.
Well, that must mean when they
He,
were they doing a press conference when that happened?
no, it was during the game.
It was during the game. Okay. All
He did
right.
not end up going to the hospital. He ended up returning to the game. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
Andy Reid did that once.
he ended up returning to
Yeah.
the game, but I'm kind of thinking, well, you know what? I might root for the Broncos, but I'll be praying for the coach because obviously, you want to make sure that that ticker's still running.
Yeah, we want to pray for all of our team members.
Hey, yep,
All of them, all the people that play, out there, the NFL. I'm sorry. The sun, every time we record, I sit
Harbaugh,
here.
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh, that's right. Yeah. So
Yep.
the sun is like really bad. I apologize. I'm like holding my face.
Oh man,
I'm gonna definitely, this is crazy. Every time we record, it's like the sun hits. So it must be at the time that the sun comes through.
right. Well,
Crazy.
right. So, yeah, no, we'll be praying for that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think, Sunday is going to be kind of one of those. I'm pretty sure the Chiefs will do at least better than Arizona, at least.
Well, they're 5-0 and the 49ers are 3-3. And
Yeah.
McCaffrey is not playing. I don't
Hmm.
think the 49ers are doing so good.
No, they're really not. In fact, um, yeah. I mean,
But they are playing, the Chiefs are playing at Levi's Stadium.
That should,
So
that should be
that's
interesting.
at home. Yeah, the 49ers home
Yep.
field. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that game, but hopefully it'll be a win.
Hopefully we'll see a 6-0 team.
Yeah,
You know,
I think so.
I think, yeah. I mean,
I
unless
think
the
so because so many of their key players are going to be playing now.
good.
They're coming off injured reserve or
Right, right,
whatever.
right.
So I think that'll be a much better all the way around for them.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I think, like I said, I think with Arizona and the Chargers, I think we're gonna see the Chargers win, unless Arizona can surprise me, which I don't mind being wrong. But I would
Well,
rather.
let's just think positive for your
Mm,
team there. And maybe someone will get a hold of this podcast and share it with Kyler and the team. Wouldn't that
yeah,
be
well,
great?
let's put it this way. I'm not
Teresa
anti
Blaze.
I am not anti Kyler. I just want him to live up to what he's. Yeah,
You want him to win.
exactly. Please, just show yourself a decent quarterback for once. Please. We know you can do it. We've seen you do it. So, there is that. So, Michelle, I hear you have a player for us?
There's so many players as we're discovering, but we'll highlight today the Jaguars running back. His name, Tank Bigsby. Can you imagine having that name? Tank Bigsby.
Okay. Well, I have to ask, was he given that name at birth? Or is that a nickname?
Well, I don't know if that was something he got through his college years or what. I really don't know. But I do know that's the name he goes by now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's part of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they had a thrilling victory over the Colts
Mm.
on Sunday. And it was actually the first win for the team of the season.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
Okay.
he delivered one of the top performances of course, that was week 5 of the NFL season.
Mm.
And so he rushed 101 yards on 13 carries on a day that included his first 2 touchdowns of the season.
Wow.
I mean, the first came on a 19-yard rush up the middle in the third quarter, powering through the Colts defensive secondary to put the Jags up by 10. So there's a
Nice.
lot there. He had another score that came on a 65-yard scamper with 5 minutes remaining in the game to give Jacksonville an insurmountable, they say 34-20 lead.
Yeah, that would do it.
Okay. And he gives glory to God for this. He wanted to start by thanking God for the opportunity. He's only 23 years old. Okay.
So he's a rookie.
And he's a second-year pro.
Okay.
Yeah. And he wants to, of course, ensure that if you keep God first, he wants people to know if you keep God first and you live the right way, you will be blessed. You will be blessed. And so he wants to just encourage everyone there. And he's saying, I'm playing with a lot more confidence. And he says that stems from his faith.
Hmm.
And it does. I mean,
Well, it's like you
a
play
lot of faith
from.
in God helps,
Well,
right?
yeah, because you play from your identity, not trying to earn your identity through your work.
And I think that's what he's trying to communicate and convey, that,
Yep.
I lay it in God's hands, and I have a lot of faith and a lot of confidence when I do that, and he's working.
Praise
And
God.
so he had kind of a tumultuous first year. Now let's give a big shout out to Sports Spectrum because they highlighted him. And, I'm getting some of the context of what I'm sharing and the information from them because he does have a bio.
Mhm.
Jesus before you, walk with faith, thankful. So he
I
puts
love
that
that.
out there. I love that. Every now and then I'll be on Instagram and I run across these Christ athletes and people, and I'll share them with you, Teresa, as I can. And the cool thing too is Trevor Lawrence, who's the quarterback QB,
Mm-hmm.
he also wants to be a light for Christ. And so he's trying to lead the resurgent Jaguars. So, it doesn't it just encourage our faith when we know
Oh
that these
yeah.
players are trying to do the right thing on and off the field. And they're young. They're young. They're successful. And,
Well, like
you know,
you hear about the players that are not doing the right thing, and you find that discouraging, and then you find the ones that are, and it's like, cool, I love it. You know what I
well,
mean?
we have it out on our Facebook page. So,
Oh
Blaes and
yeah.
Gottsch supporters, get out there and read what we share because we try to share encouraging, uplifting,
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah. And and there's so many
updates.
cool stories that I see. In fact, I just shared with Mischelle a player that's kind of come on my radar. And I am really, really I this is why we do what we do, guys. This is why.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, do I get all riled up when a certain team decides they don't want to play up to their potential?
Yep.
Yes, I do. Guilty. But do I absolutely love the players? Yeah, I do.
Now, Teresa, can I share something with you?
Hmm.
And you might want to do this with Mike sometime. I don't know if the Cardinals do this, but the Chiefs owners do what they call a style lounge event. And they bring like Andy Reid's wife, the owner's wife, their daughter, some of the cheerleaders, some of the Chiefs players from the past. Um, I even think they had a recent player, and they go out there and they sport their NFL gear. That's Chiefs, so it's a merch
Right.
event kind of too. It's fun. It's kind of like they have a couple of fashion shows and they support small business and women, small business and Chiefs attire. So it's all about that. But
That's kind of cool.
my daughter and I went. We had a lot of fun. We went and they it's a great value because you get food and you get to watch these shows and then they give you, they don't believe in alcohol. So they give you mocktails and then they give you a little, I mean, I shouldn't say they don't. I mean, they don't advocate. They don't advocate. Yeah, they don't advocate. So they give you a cool little mocktail and a car in a cool little Chiefs lounge. It was just fun.
That's
And
kind of cool.
it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. And I've seen more guys that go.
Yeah.
And there were some younger girls with their
Well,
moms.
well,
So
something similar that the Cardinals do, not necessarily the whole fashion thing, but what
yeah.
they are supporting is flag football with the girls.
Oh, that's unique.
Yeah, they are supporting flag football. In fact, there's a bunch of Valley flag football teams, and they are showing these games on like local television. And it's really
Mm.
kind of cool because Dave Pash and Ron Wolfley, who are the normal commentators for the Arizona radio team, actually commentated one of the games.
Oh, okay, cool. That's
Yeah,
very cool.
yeah. So I thought that was kind of neat. Now I'm not a flag football person, but I thought, you know what, that's kind of unique.
That is unique. That is unique.
So yeah, I just thought, you mentioned that, and I thought, you know what, yeah. So
Well, I mean, I do think that every team has its team,
culture, and
culture.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And because the owner of the Chiefs owner's wife, she was Miss Kansas and she was into all of that.
Oh, okay.
And
That explains a lot.
Her daughter Gracie is into that and
Hmm.
style and fashion. And, they do a lot of charity things. And
That
so
that
it's
sounds
always
kind of
fun.
cool.
It is. It is cool. It's cool for the ladies and, it esteems. It
Yeah,
esteems
yeah.
the organization.
Well,
So
one thing that I'm hoping, what I would like to do eventually is I would like to, because I'm pretty much assuming the Cardinals aren't hitting the playoffs this year. But I'm pretty well
mm,
sure that the Chiefs are.
I think they will.
I really do. Yeah, I think they will. Are they
Yeah.
going to get to the Super Bowl? I ain't even going to
We'll
try
have
and
to
guess
see.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would love if we could, figure out the money for maybe us to come out to KC and we go to a game. That would be like
Well,
so much.
we would love that.
That would be so much fun. And, and I mean, I've already seen what the Cardinals can do. I would love to see a Chiefs football game. I have a feeling it would be unique.
Well, I think we would have a good time too.
I think so too. I do.
We'll pray about that and
Yep.
see how that, because really what I would like to do is have you and Mike come out and then we go to the Foolish Lounge,
Okay.
which is a private kind of area
Mhm.
where, the guys can, I mean, we're not stuck in the seats unless you really want that experience of being with everyone around you. The
No.
Foolish Lounge, you can, still see the game and all of that, but it's a little bit less, out there
Right.
with all the other. It might be, not as cold, or if it's a real hot game, you would have indoor protection.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't do, especially with my knee and my body, we don't do as well on the whole bleachers
On the
thing.
sit. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
wondering. We'll pray about it. Who knows? God can work it out.
I've seen crazier.
That would be so fun that we could get our Blaes and Gottsch.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
That would be
So,
cool.
well, I think we've hit everything, Michelle.
I think we have.
Yeah. Do you have any last thoughts?
No, just that, friends,
Yep.
we need this distraction right now with all of the things that are going on around us with the political,
Oh yeah.
an
Oh yeah.
election. And I do appreciate having, these games out there, and, we can focus, on something else,
Absolutely. I think that's why, I know a lot of people think that like, maybe, well, let's just say there are some talk show hosts that think that like football is a distraction, and with everything going on, it's just bread and circus for the masses. You know what? My answer to that is, look, I focus in on the political stuff um like during the week. On the
right?
weekend, that's
Right.
kind of my
That's
time.
your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that, and I know, and I'm not going political. That's not the point of this, but I know I've got that settled. I know what I'm doing on that front, and so I think having a football game or a basketball game or whatever sport you happen to like, even if it's golf or one of my caregivers likes NASCAR.
Well, they just had that a big deal here,
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all need something that gives
Yes.
us,
Yep.
entertainment, but in a different way, or
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
We need that thing that we can use that'll kind of like, okay, thank you. Now, something else to get upset at,
right, right, exactly.
So
And so that's why I enjoy doing this. We talk and
oh
we
yeah.
just, two
Well, and
crazy women talking football.
it's funny because if the Cardinals like really, really screw up and don't, she won't even reach out to me. It's hilarious. She
No.
just knows I'm not in a good mood.
No, but I would be the same with the Chiefs. I mean,
Yep.
there have been a few games when, they were coming down to the wire, and
And
it really gets your blood pressure going. Let me
and
tell
you're
you.
going, oh come on, you cannot keep doing this to me.
Well,
Yeah.
I think they stepped that up. So,
Oh man. All right. Well, guys, I absolutely love doing this show. As you could tell, I love it.
we need it. We need it. Teresa and I love to do it. We love to
Oh,
talk football. It's so fun and so cool that we can bring it to the airwaves.
yep. So with that, guys, we're gonna end it here. Michelle, thank you for coming on the show. And
You're welcome.
with that, I'm Teresa Blaze, along with Michelle Saunders Gottsch. This has been Blaes and Gottsch. We're just talking faith, family, and football. And we're out.